I live in Oklamas, Michigan, in a great neighborhood with big houses. You can find their castles. You can also find the best, biggest, meanest houses. But whenever I'm driving to work, I also think of grandmothers in Uganda. And these grandmothers live in a 14 by 12 small home where they are raising at least 9 children. How do they do it?
In the African setting, when you grow old, it's your children and grandchildren that are supposed to take care of you. Now it was now the other way around. Their children died of HIV/AIDS. That the grandmothers are now coming out to take care of the grandchildren. I initially am the one who started the grandmothers program. Reason is they had the school, but these orphans were living in very, very poor conditions. Sometimes you find a grandmother with about 6 children in a grass-thatched house, and it is almost falling on her head. And there is no pit latrine, no kitchen. They cook with firewood. When the kitchen is enclosed, there is a lot of smoke. It's not like the gas cookers and electric cookers that you have here.
You would probably think that a grandmother house looked more like a shed. A house like how we think about it. It's 1 story. It's made of 3 rooms. Half the house is a living room and the other half is split up into 2 bedrooms, one for the grandmother and one for the children that she's raising. And we hire local builders to build the houses, which is important because that's feeding into the economy. We never want to be an organization that creates dependence in a community. We want to build it up.
There's one grandmother who was living in a house, a grass-thatched house, and every time it rained, the house would be leaking. So she would go to take shelter on the veranda of someone else, and they would chase her away. They would say, please, don't even stay on our veranda. We don't want to see you there. And it was miserable for her. So we came in to build the house. We put up a pit latrine for her first, and then we put a kitchen. But this lady, as soon as we finished the kitchen, she didn't wait. She decided to go and live in the kitchen. While the house was being built, and the very night it rained so heavily that the old structure where she was living fell down, just was raised to the ground. We put up this house for her. She's a person who was not going to church. Now she goes to church. Actually, she has the best home in the village. She has even a better home than these people who are chasing her out. She lived in a hopeless situation. Now she's really very hopeful. Her children are going to school. Maria Dina now is one of the opinion leaders in the village. You know, people go there to seek advice from her.
I met a grandmother. Her home collapsed. Fortunately for her, it was on the day that the builders were coming to build her a new home. And just to see the gratitude on her face, it's not just words. Don't think of these as women who are thousands of miles away in a community you've never been to. Think of these like they're your grandmother. And your grandmother is the one who is not sleeping at night because there's rain pouring in through her roof. And do what you would do for her.
In this giving season of Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, everything we celebrate, why don't you spare $840 and build a house for a grandmother? Can add on some short change and make it $1,400. That will give a house, a kitchen, and a toilet for children and grandmothers. Thank you.